I could do this. Hey, come on, ADD. You can do this. Hey, welcome to episode 198 of Front Seat Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Blake.
Hello, Nick.
And as always, I'm here with Paul.
Hey.
And it's been a brisk 2 weeks since our last episode.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Paul, you've been on. And, so not a whole lot has happened because it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah. I just want to say it's good having you here, Paul. I know you were here last time and the time before that.
It's always a pleasure.
It's good having you back because you're always back.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're always back from when you go home and you come back.
The consistency of the 2 weeks it just fits nicely.
I know, right?
You know what's weird, though, is Blake is never here.
Are those the voices I hear at night?
All right. So we've been kicking it off with questions lately. We could do that.
Yeah. Hit it.
I did have a thing I'd been thinking about lately that I do want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
But
we could have sent in a question.
Okay. Hey,
we're only in a question form.
Weird. This is from Nick. It says, "Hey Nick, what you been thinking about lately?"
Whoa.
Okay, so here's a weird thing I've been hearing. So this is in two different interviews from two different game developers in Japan. They said, "Oh yeah, we had Shigeru Miyamoto playtest our game, and he did one specific behavior the whole playtest." And like in the first case, it was the first interview I saw. It was about the new Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and what Shigeru Miyamoto had basically done was just smash the ground, for like an hour, and like just run around and break stuff, and that was him playtesting the game. And then in the other one, it was like a Mario platformer, and he had one specific suit on, and he was doing one specific like jump movement or something for like an hour.
Yeah,
and that could be interpreted a few ways. One is like, oh, he's old and his brain is mush. I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think what I actually think is it's one of the most important lessons for a game designer.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons Shigeru Miyamoto is like legendary, and that is he understands the importance of game feel.
That's what I was thinking.
More than anybody. Like, you need to have every single movement feel just right. And otherwise, players notice.
Yeah. It literally sounds like he is properly playtesting, not just like, oh, here's a game and tell us, what you think. It's like, no, my job is to playtest this, and I'm going to like test.
Yes. Oh, this is the game where you smash the ground? Well, I'm going to push smashing the ground to its absolute limits and see where it breaks.
Yeah. Like a proper game test.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that if this is what the game is centered upon, it needs to be rock solid. More rock solid than the rocks I'm breaking with my big monkey. So I just think that was a little interesting tidbit.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
the GOAT, in my opinion. He's the greatest game designer.
He knows what he's doing.
When you look at his output, it is truly ridiculous. Like Mario, Zelda.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he did Metroid. Pretty sure he did Pikmin. Like he's done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's done other ones as well. He's done some weird ones. Like if you look through his like a baseball game or something.
He did. I remember one E3 way back with the Wii. He did. I think
Wii Music.
Wii Music.
Yes.
And he was on stage,
just having a blast,
playing Wii Mote like a flute. Yeah. It was the most hilarious.
Yeah, it was insane.
And he was loving it.
It was an absolute travesty of a presentation. But I also think for what it was, Wii Music was like also good. Like it was. It is a toy for children.
Yeah. I mean, the Wii was a revolution for a lot of things. It was like so accessible to like. It was accessible to children. It's accessible to old retired people in old folks' homes.
Yeah, literally. When I visited when my grandmother passed away, my dad and I had to like clean out her apartment.
Yeah,
and in like the old folks' home she was living in, they had a Wii.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because it is like a great way to get someone to get up and do a little bit of movement.
It's like enough. It's like just enough old person exercise to keep them going.
It's goals oriented, and it's like.
Yeah. Keeps the brain going.
It gives immediate feedback. Good. It's fun. Yeah. It's multiplayer. It's social.
It's intuitive as well.
Yep.
You're playing Wii tennis. You know how to do it. It's not like, oh, press this button combo.
That's right.
It's just like, make the move.
So listener, go out and buy a Wii.
It's good.
This podcast is sponsored by Wii.
It was good. I mean, look, it was so good. It was so good that Xbox tried to catch up with the Kinect,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they tried to do it, and they were like, "We're going to do it with no remote."
I mean, also
And it was a disaster. I
PlayStation
think.
6-axis. That was
Oh,
the
did
thing.
they? Oh, yeah, you're
Like
right. Yeah.
literally every console
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, we got to get some sort of motion controls.
Yeah.
We have to have some weird control scheme. The PS Vita with the weird touchy back thing.
Oh, yeah, it did have
Like,
that. Eh?
And also then they also had the PlayStation controller with the weird touchy elements.
Yeah.
Like it's become
The thing with the little light on the end.
that
What
was
was that?
oh yeah the
PlayStation wand thing.
yeah, what was that called?
What, PlayStation 1?
Yeah,
No.
they had their own Kinect, which
the
was
Move.
camera-
PlayStation
Yeah.
Move.
Was it called Move?
I think it was called Move.
That sounds.
I
That sounds
remember
about
that.
right. I just
Yeah.
remember what it looked like.
Yeah,
And you had to get the color of the ball mattered. Because if
Yep.
you were on the wrong color background, it just wouldn't pick it up. Because it was just a camera looking for
Yeah.
a specific color of light.
I played one game with that thing at PAX Australia once.
Yeah.
And it was this game where it had a bunch of people. It was like a big open thing, but it was like almost like a like don't move when the music stops or something like that. But
Yeah.
you could, and the idea was that if the music stopped, you had to stay still, or you had to keep the
wand still.
the wand
So
still.
you could just put the wand on a table.
Technically you could, but then what was the point? But the goal was to then smack other people to
Okay.
make other people's wands move.
Okay.
You know, so you want to protect yours and not move it, and then when the music stops, you're trying to like.
Was that the actual goal, or was
Yes.
that just the
No,
game
that was the
developed
actual
as-
goal.
Okay.
That was the actual goal. I can't remember what that game was called, but I was in there for like 2 seconds before someone hit.
Yeah, I
Hit
was
it.
gonna say that sounds like an absolute nightmare as a parent.
It was a load of people. There was probably like 6 or 7 or 8 people playing. It was like heaps. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Should we answer some questions?
That was a good question. Whoever wrote
That
that.
Yeah,
was-
thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Guys, I gotta let you in on a secret.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real question. I made it up.
No.
But you said
I
it
made
was
up the secret.
emailed him by Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it up the secret.
But I mean, don't you do that for all the questions? Aren't you?
Yeah,
also
I'm all-
along and slippery Jim?
Anyway, this is me, Fuwa-san. Fuwa-san, I had a framed picture of the Hall of Fame Mew sprite in my room from that glitch. Me and my sibling were so excited that we took a Polaroid of it and our parents framed it.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I think I remember on the last episode I was saying that I saw Mew in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame, and I was stared at it for like 5 or 10 minutes trying to like ingrain it into my brain
Yeah.
because there was no way to like capture it.
Amonglin says, it wouldn't be an episode of Front Seat Gamer without you complaining about Elden Ring. Never gets old. Did you play any weird, obscure games lately? Maybe some early access games? Wink. Well, Blake,
I haven't actually played any
Whoa, okay.
weird, obscure early access games. I played another grand strategy game,
Okay.
and I played Sea of Thieves. I'm back onto Sea of Thieves. Why did Sea of Thieves get the same reaction from you as me as No Man's Sky?
Yeah.
And I feel like they have
They're very much of the same ilk, aren't they?
They kind of are.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is, I would think, more enjoyable than No Man's Sky. I mean, they're enjoyable in different ways, but Sea of Thieves is very.
It's a sandbox.
I mean, it's a sandbox, and you get into your own adventures
Yeah.
along the way. But it's got something that No Man's Sky doesn't have, where it's like it's got really great multiplayer. Like
It's got gameplay.
It's got gameplay. It does actually have really like great gameplay. Really, the sea battles are so fun.
I love the water tech. in
The
that
water tech is incredible.
Yeah.
So here's how great the water tech was. I was playing that for a couple of weeks with me
Yeah.
and my friends, and then I was at work and I was just typing to someone in our chat, and I swear I felt like the screen was bobbing up and down. Like I was getting like weird
The phantom movements.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Also, maybe like get that
Maybe
checked out,
ease
but-
off on that game.
but
It was such a weird thing, and I was like, man, I can't wait to go home and play some more Sea of Thieves.
yeah.
It's good.
Paul?
It's just fun.
I have been playing an early access game.
Yeah.
Should I elaborate?
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's enough. Thank you.
Let's guess.
Okay, actually, let's do it. Hang on. What genre?
No, you got to guess that as well if you're going to guess.
Roguelite.
No.
No.
Is it
Nothing with a story.
survival?
No.
Action RPG?
Nope.
Strategy?
Okay, so
Some kind of card
the
game.
thing is, I actually I did already post it in the group chat. So
Oh, you did?
it's there was
Yeah,
a
here's the thing. I don't read any of Paul's messages.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
there was a Steam automation sale. And I'd been kind of
yes.
wanting to play another factory game. So
Yeah.
I got Captain of Industry.
That's right. Okay, Captain of Industry.
Yep.
Tell me. Well, okay, but like you can tell me about your grand strategy game in a minute.
No, I want to hear about.
This is
I want to
early
hear about
access,
this. Yeah.
so this is more.
I might end up buying this.
It gets early access to the conversation. Let's go.
I mean, at its core, it really is just like another factory game, but it's that it's really deep. I'm only maybe halfway through the tech tree
Okay.
so far. I'm not sure how much I've played, but everything feels like quite slow. It's really hard to balance all of the different factories. You basically start out on an island, and it's like your boat just rocked up to this island, and it's got some iron scrap and a few basic building things there for you to start your first factory. And it'll start out, give you a few quests to build factories for different things, and then it just spirals out of control.
Is it RTS like style or is
Nah,
it
it's
top down or 3D?
It's 3D.
Okay. Like first person?
Nah, like God camera.
Oh, okay.
So you just
so you just zoom in all over the place. Oh, yep.
It's got like trains. I only just got my first train.
Yeah.
And it feels so epic when you get the first train track down because it took so much to get there. Like you spent ages being able to see it up in the tech tree.
Oh.
And then you finally unlock it.
Yeah.
You place down your first rail, and it's like requires 3,000 railroads.
Holy.
Which is just hours.
And there's like an effort to make like one or something.
It's not too bad to make just one.
Yeah.
But it goes through like, at that point, the whole pipeline of automation that you've got going. And it's really hard to balance all the parts. I've played other factory games. Dyson Sphere Program is really good as well.
Yep.
But this is it feels like it's the game with the most tentative balance of resources that I've
How are you balancing them then? Is it
so it'll be like you'll have run out of so in the railroad example, I put more of my iron to be like smelted into steel to make the railroads.
Yep.
That meant that I ran out of like one of the basic machine parts things.
Oh, I see.
That is required to make maintenance for all of your machines.
Oh god.
So then they will start breaking down.
Oh no.
And it's got this unity bar that you build up as if your citizens are happy.
Yeah.
And then like as you pollute, it uses more of it, and then you can like provide power to the settlements.
So you have citizens as well.
Yeah, and you've got to keep them happy. You've got to keep food going to them.
Oh my god.
And it feels like whenever I look at one thing and fix that thing, I have to look at something else.
Now, is this because is it are you resource limited, or is it just that the factories themselves, like you can only have one factory down at a time, or I don't understand.
It's really just a balancing act. So there'll be more resources there, but to mine more resources at a higher rate, you need more excavators in there.
Okay.
And that requires more steel to make the excavators.
Sure. But that feels like I mean, okay, if I were to think about it in terms of your goals, there's the going long, which is like trying to tech up, and then there's the going wide, which is trying to increase your base of resource acquisition.
Yep.
And it sounds like you've been going long and just balancing along what you've kind of currently got.
Yes.
But you could potentially forego your trains for a little while and just get more factories, so that when you do decide to go trains, you're not quite so resource constrained. Is that right?
You might be able to, but
so what's the limiting factor then?
Well, you need workers for all the factories.
Yeah.
And you've got to like upgrade the housing and expand housing.
Right.
There's also the island you start out on isn't flat.
Okay.
So you've got to sort of flatten areas with excavators to clear more flat ground to build more factories on.
Right. Okay.
You might be able to do that though.
Can you
go wide at the start.
Can you expand to other islands?
There are other small islands, but it's like quite hard.
Yep.
At least of the ways I know of,
Yeah.
it's quite hard to get to them.
Okay.
So I've tried a few factory games at this point, and the most recent one was Satisfactory, and I dropped off. I did like the first main, maybe the second main like objective where you have to build like a space elevator. It's quite early on, I think, in the grand scheme of things. And then it was like, now you have to do this other thing. And when I realized I had to basically undo most of my factory setup, or, at least make heavy modifications involving a lot of planning, I was like, this is not the game for me.
That's when you start again.
Yeah, well, that doesn't appeal to me either.
Because that's what happened to me. I was like, my first factory was just conveyor belts, a spaghetti mix of conveyor belts. And then I was like, you know what? To sort this out is such a job that I think I would rather start from scratch again.
I think Satisfactory is a game I would enjoy in multiplayer with Blake, because Blake loves organizing things. Or at least has an attunement for it. I don't know. But
yeah.
How would you describe it, Blake?
No, you're right. I can get too really bogged down in like trying to optimize, and it actually takes away the enjoyment for me. So at some points I got to go, you know what? It's fine that this ore thing is not as optimal as it could be. Yeah. I'm just going to move on. Otherwise, I'm going to remake it again for the 5th time, and I'm not going to have a good time.
Yes, but so the game that you're describing, Paul, where, I guess my question is, would I hit that same sort of wall where it's like, I don't actually, this feels like a job.
Well, I haven't had to completely undo and redo anything.
Okay.
Arguably I should, because some places are a mess, but so far they're reasonably functional. Right. And you can kind of like, there was one thing I rebuilt because I built it in one place and then realized that I could have built it next to the ore. Rather than trying to like cart it all the way across the island.
How difficult is it to tear stuff down and rebuild?
It's not too bad. It's got all the like blueprints and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you can like even just copy paste a setup that is working.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Although then you've got to like still drag the resources in.
Yep.
You can also spend Unity to build stuff immediately.
Oh, okay.
Well, to immediately deliver the supplies if you have
What
them.
generates Unity?
That's the citizens being happy.
Ah, I see.
And they generate it at a rate. So
okay. It almost sounds sort of like Anno. Have you ever played those?
I actually haven't. No.
That's way more. I mean, that's not a factory thing, but it has supply chains.
Yep.
And this just sounds like a more extreme kind of version of that, because you have workers that you have to satisfy, but there's like supply chains that you need to do things, and it's like. It's that thing of like, it would be the same in this game. It's the same in any factory game where it's like, I'm running out of this resource. Why is that? And you follow the chain down, and it's like, this one simple thing that's the most basic one is running out or whatever. And that's actually the slow point in this whole massive chain.
The last time I ran out of coal, it was because I dug like a trench.
Yeah.
And there was a cliff on the other side.
Yeah.
And they were mining down the bottom, taking it up the top and trying to level it out.
Oh.
And it would fall back down.
Oh, no.
And they would mine it out.
Oh, no.
Take it around.
So it's just going in a loop. Oh, no.
It's fun, though. Like, it's a good game.
But the GDP, when you're looking at the macroeconomics, were insane.
That's so interesting. So how much... So it's kind of like... It's a factory builder, but it's got some like city management type stuff a little bit.
City management, it's relatively simple.
Yeah.
But it's mostly about trying to balance not polluting too much.
I see.
And making sure you can provide like food and water and...
How do you provide food and water? Is it just more factories?
Farms and then...
Yeah, it's
making
so
like
much...
fertilizers for the farms.
Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds great.
I got well sucked in.
It sounds cool. Yeah, it really does remind me a lot of like Anno by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Blake.
Yo.
Tell me about the grand strategy game.
The grand strategy game. So, it's called Knights of Honor 2. and it is a sort of simplified Crusader Kings, I would say. Me and a friend started playing it. He messaged me one day. He was like, "Oh, this is on sale," and then he'd bought it and he'd seen that I also had a wish list.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, that's great." I didn't know he was like into grand strategy games. So we played it and we just were like, "Let's just go in blind, no clue what to do," and it was actually a lot of fun just like figuring out with somebody else how to play one of these like obtuse strategy
cool.
game.
I mean, that was sort of my experience for that space one.
Oh yes, yeah.
What was it called?
X4.
Oh yeah, I guess, but
Was it X4? Yeah.
That one is sort of one, but no, the one before that, the Paradox. Stellaris.
Stellaris.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I first played that.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of figured that out. I did like a tutorial at home, and then like we did for a little while a weekly GGG
versus Rocket
Friday
Works.
night LAN parties.
Yeah.
Pilates.
Pilates.
Yeah, and that was a blast.
They were good. We ended up with I remember we were doing that for quite a while, and then some people at Rocket Works, some people joined Rocket Works from us, and then we
kept it going.
You kept it going with Rocket Works people. And so it was like GGG versus Rocket Works, and it turns out GGG was incredibly vicious in how we played. Just our natural play of how we were normally playing at work with us.
Rocket Works will be like, "Hey, we can all share the resources."
Yeah,
of the
they were a very
together.
peaceful.
And GGG's like, "No, mate."
They were very peaceful, and I remember I'm very proud of myself. I spearheaded a tactic that I discovered where if there's an enemy that is if there's a player that I don't want them getting too strong, and they're at war with someone who may not even be an ally of mine, not allied with me at all. But they're at war with someone, and I'm like, I don't want them winning that war, because if they get that guy's territory, they're going to get stronger. So I will just start sending money and resources to that.
You didn't
person.
invent this strategy, by the way.
Yeah, no, America did, right?
yeah. America and Russia
I'm learning
did.
from the best. But yeah, and then the guy that was like fighting them started losing this war, and they were like, "Where are they? How are they getting these resources? How are they rebuilding so fast?" And I'm just like, "I don't know.
It must be real
crazy.
There must be some crazy plan in there."
But then sometimes it can backfire, because one of the other guys tried that, and that person that that AI was an enemy to them. That was like a natural enemy.
Yeah.
And so he was like feeding them resources to beat one of the human players. He like beat the human player, and then that AI got too strong and started coming up.
Why would you do it to an AI though?
That's what I was doing. I was doing it to an AI, but they were far enough away from me that I was fine.
Gotcha. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's a great game.
So what's this? Tell me about this.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's like a simplified Crusader Kings where you have an actual character as your ruler. And he ages and he'll die, and so you have to marry, and then you take over as the heir. You have cabinet ministers or council, council people that you can assign to different jobs. So in Crusader Kings, you have a very set council. You have like your, I can't remember the names exactly, but you have like your war guy, your like treasury guy, diplomacy, and they're very set, and you are picking from your pool of like courtiers or whatever.
Advisors.
In this, you just sort of you just click on the thing.
Yeah.
There's a row of possible open positions, and they can be anything. You click on one, and it gives you a selection of who do you want to hire. Do you want to hire a merchant, a diplomat, or a marshal, a spy? And you can order you can hire as many of them as you want. So you're not locked into like I can only have one of each. Basically, you can end up with like a really big like trading empire, because half your cabinet are trade like merchant people, and they facilitate trade with different countries. So you send a request to a country and say, "Hey, do you want to set up a trade agreement?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, okay." That doesn't just automatically give you money,
right?
You then have to assign a trade minister to that trade route, and they will work on that trade route, and they can also be upgraded so that they get better at that. They generate more gold and whatever. They can also upgrade the trade route, so then it's like it's even better. So it's like that, and you end up in this balancing act of like, well, I've got three merchants, and they're making me all my money.
Yeah,
and my empire's running on money, obviously.
Yeah,
but then I'm also I'm also at war, and I need like more marshals.
Yeah,
but I've also got these like diplomat or a priest that are also like generating good things for me.
Right.
But
if you go to war, you're gonna lose those.
Yeah, and so you start juggling, you start firing people and juggling them depending on your needs, and it's like quite an interesting thing. But because you've invested, you can level up these guys. You've invested into them. It is a hard decision because it's not just like, oh, I'll just hire another one.
Yeah.
It's like this person is either
They're really good for this role now.
Yeah. But right now I really need a spy to like deal with this, or I really need a diplomat to smooth things over with this country. So, you're balancing resources in your own court, as well as resources like traditional resources in your empire.
Cool.
This is not early access.
No.
When did this come out?
I don't know. Quite a while ago. It was on my wish list for like most of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Do you like it?
Yeah, I really like it. There's some things that I wish it was a little bit more in depth. You're right.
Yeah, just mid sneeze. That's all good.
It was a good one.
Thank you.
There were some things I wish were a little bit more in depth, like Crusader Kings. So you can see you can't manipulate other countries through like diplomacy or spy craft as well as in Crusader Kings. So in Crusader Kings, you can just have your spy just start a plot against a rival king. In this, it's like you can send a spy to a country, and then a cool thing is then when you click on that town, you can actually see how many units are garrisoned there. You can see what buildings they've got.
Right.
So it gives
you a bunch of info.
Yeah. And your spy basically gets random. Your spy can do a couple of things right off the bat, so they can like sow dissent, so that the people don't like the leader more, or they can damage relations with other nations, which is kind of neat. So you can be like, I want Ireland to worsen their relationship with England, so that England is more prone to join this war with me or whatever like that. But what they can't do is just like start a plot to assassinate someone or bribe someone or do that. Those are just seemingly random events that pop up where you have the opportunity to do that. So you'll be playing and a pop-up will come up and say, hey, your spy has heard this rumor. We could bribe this person. Do you want to do it? And it'll show you like a breakdown of like your percentage kind of to do it.
I kind of think I prefer that.
Yeah.
Because when I think about like the logistics, look, I've never created an assassination yet.
Yeah.
But like, I imagine if you were to send a spy to a country and be like, assassinate the minister of finance or whatever, they'd be like, I don't even know where to get started, bro. I don't even know where he is. Who is he? You got to get a bunch of info. You got to establish a ring of contacts, and then there's an opportunistic element to it, without a doubt.
Yeah, it definitely has that. But then, in times where you're like, okay, I want to. I have a country where there's a king, and they have they've married someone from my kingdom, and they are currently, if they died, I would then become like my heir. I would then take over that country, right? But I'm just hoping that my spy gets an opportunity to knock out that king. It's not,
but like, that seems legit.
I suppose,
but that happens a lot.
Okay. You could arguably, okay. Historically, there were probably plots that were made, and to be fair, if the king is married to your relative, it feels like you've got an in there.
I do, which is good. And sometimes
like you feel like you could probably establish a plot around the relative.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's tricky because you don't want, from a game design perspective, you don't want it to devolve into send spy to city,
you don't. You don't want that to be the like dominating tactic. Yeah.
So the random element would keep like playthroughs feeling fresh.
The random element is really cool. Like there were times where I was sieging a city that I happened to have a spy still in.
Yeah.
And this random event came up that was like, hey, you can use your spy to like do some shenanigans and open the front gate for you. And I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Did they use the word shenanigans? Because, oh man, I love.
Yeah, they use called shenanigans. Yeah.
Do you want to execute shenanigans? Yes, shenanigans.
So it's like it is cool like that. And I do get that feeling that yes, it does feel more kind of like natural. Like these things just kind of, these events kind of just pop up and they feel a little more natural rather than like, I need you to just go and assassinate this person, and then there's sort of a bar that fills up with Crusader Kings and events happen along the way that affect that bar, and then when it's hit the thing, you go, okay, execute it. It's just like you go there, you send a spy there, and they will get constant random things popping up saying you could bribe this guy, you could I don't know, do some other things or like murder plot or whatever.
You could kind of combine the two systems, I would imagine, where it's like you set a spy and you get essentially a quest track, and the quest track itself is randomized. So it would be like, if you want to instigate an assassination plot on the king, you need to do these 5 random tasks that build towards it. So like it would be like send a bunch of military equipment, and then it would be like wait X turns where you have the most control over vision of the map or something like that, and like a sequence of things where it's like once you've achieved these things, you get to and that could be hidden from the players, and there could be some sort of I can see a way where you have the randomness, but you have also some level of control and foresight.
There is, I think that would be quite cool. There is in Crusader Kings, there is like a similar-ish thing where you do get events that seeming kind of random events that influence the strength of the plot, to assassinate the king or whatever. It'll be like, the king always retires to this room,
right?
You could sneak a snake in there or something like that, and that and that
what a weird tactic that is.
Those were the days, man. You just put a snake in there. Snakes are all over the place, apparently. Pretty common.
I'm just thinking, is it harder to sneak a snake into someone's bedroom than it is to just sneak poison wine in? Like,
I don't know. But at least a snake is
there's
like...
a level of difficulty there.
A snake is like,
you're establishing.
A snake is plausible deniability. I didn't have any. It was a wild animal just got in.
A wild animal got to the 4th floor of the castle. The snakes that don't, they're from the other side of the country. But it just got over.
And this is a snake from Egypt too. So isn't that wasn't that crazy?
It was probably Egypt that did it.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah. But yeah, it's only the only. I suppose that's kind of the only sort of minor criticism I would have is around the spy, is that I just don't feel like I have enough control over manipulating other countries. It does feel very random. And you can take over countries through marriage as well. Okay. So you do, like I do fire off a bunch of heirs and whatever.
Shoot off a bunch of kids.
Shoot them off around the place. And in this game, you don't have... the kingdoms are not structured the same as in Crusader Kings. So in Crusader Kings, there's a hierarchy of like ruling things, right? And you can be just ruling one province, but you're under a petty king who is then under a like high king who's then under an emperor. Right. In this, it's like it's just you. Yeah. So the person who rules England rules all the territory in England. If you were to marry into England and for whatever reasons that I'm not even exactly sure, sometimes you get a pop-up that says you can claim land in another country because of whatever reasons. And I'm like, because of like marriage stuff or whatever. And I'm like, okay, great. And then it like just becomes yours, like outright.
I love the idea that this is how it played out in real life, where it's like the king's sitting down, he's doing his laws or whatever, he's scribbling down, and an advisor comes in, sire, you have the opportunity to claim a large portion of Normandy. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? He's like, and you're like, yeah, I guess. Okay, great. And it just whisks out, and now you have Normandy.
So in this game, the single player game I'm playing, I've taken over pretty much all of Scotland except for one little province. Yeah, and they were fine with it.
So not based in reality.
It cost a small amount of reputation with them, or like what would you call it? How they feel about you went down a little bit.
But
that
seems so inaccurate.
But
hey, Scotland, can we conquer you? I guess.
can I passively just absorb you into my kingdom? and they were like, oh, we don't. Yeah, like this pop up comes in, it's got this thing of like, oh, we really don't like this, blah blah blah, and it's like minus 300 like opinion or whatever.
Sure.
But on the grand scheme of things, that didn't even put me into the negative.
Wow.
I was in such a positive with them.
Yeah, I guess you could take us over, but you know what? We're gonna like you a little bit less.
Yeah. And then I just send my diplomat, and then they're like, "No, we're great again." And so I was just like taken over, but I don't know how to control that. Like I just fire off these hairs and just hope for the best. I mean, it's a little.
If it's just a case of like you send a consort off or whatever. I don't know what the terms are, but the king dies, and now you've got a queen, and the queen's like, you could absorb. You're still the male heir.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know, and I've tried to like. I've tried to focus on England and try to send as many people from my family to England, but it just doesn't seem to like trigger whatever.
Interesting.
And
the
I'm always
too strong there.
Yeah, I'm always comparing it to Crusader Kings, though. But in Crusader Kings, you can really like because you can see. You can see the heirs. I mean, you can see the heirs in this game of any other nation, but you have way more ability to manipulate what happens, which is like what I was saying in Crusader Kings. I would set up marriages so that I would be like not the next in line, but like the third.
Yeah,
and then
slowly chip away.
Slowly, just like kill them all,
assassinate
them all, and then suddenly it's like, oh.
Yes, I'm in charge now.
I'm in charge of your country now.
What a weird sequence of circumstances.
Well, so many snakes in that palace. It's just unbelievable.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I'm also playing it with 3 other friends who I did not know were into grand strategy games at all. And it's been real great fun.
Yeah.
Never played it's not turn-based. It's
okay. Real time.
Yeah, it's real time, like Crusader Kings.
Okay. Full disclosure, I've never played Crusader Kings.
Oh, okay. Crusader, you probably. If I were you, I wouldn't.
Why?
It's a game that I did the tutorial and it was like after 4 hours the tutorial was done.
Oh.
And the tutorial is like reading and.
Oh God.
It's a heavy game.
Yeah.
It's a heavy. It's one of the. I would say it's the heaviest.
I don't mind a complex game. I've been playing Caves of Cut a little bit.
Oh
still,
yeah.
So it's not complexity and depth is not an issue.
Yeah.
As long as like the core game, as long as you can get into it, and as long as the thing that threw me off of Stellaris was I played it. I got quite into it. We were playing it for kind of semi-regularly, and then we took a break for a few years.
Yeah.
And when I tried to play it again, it was a different game.
Yeah, it was
a
all
completely
changed.
different game.
Yeah. They really did a massive change from how it started.
Completely
different. Every expansion of theirs also like adds extra things, and so does like Crusader Kings. But there is there's a big thing with Crusader Kings is that their expansions they cost about the same as a normal game.
Yeah.
Like they're ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. But that's their business model. And if you love the game and you play the game a lot and you want to support the creator, I honestly think that's a solid business model.
Yeah.
RimWorld, which is a game I've played a fair bit of, but I haven't bought any of the expansions. But they have a similar business model. Like their core game is $30. Their expansions are about $30.
Yeah.
And they they have a big audience because every expansion adds a bunch of stuff, and the people who really like that game are craving it.
X4 had big expansions as well, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Although I stopped after I got to a point where I was able to copy paste like starship builders basically. Like I had these massive star factories and I was just putting them in every sector and I was like, okay, I think
I was not at that level yet. I was I ended up playing as Terran for quite a while and I started building like a big factory in Terran sector.
Yeah.
But Terran was easier because they didn't have as many like parts that you had to manufacture for their stuff, but all their stuff was more like expensive.
Yes. I that game is really cool up until you kind of see through the simulation. If that makes sense.
How do you mean see through?
Okay. So we've talked about this in the past, I think. It's a game that feels like it should be built for multiplayer.
Oh,
and it feels like it should be, or at least it feels like there should be a lot more dynamism or randomness going on.
Yes.
And when you realize that it's pretty static
Mm.
and you can game a lot of those systems,
Yep.
it becomes a lot less fun.
Yeah,
So like
I get you.
like well, the strongest way you can start the game is basically whatever faction you
Mm.
want, go to where there's conflicts, set up a cheap ship to just run around collecting the loot that that drops when like the two factions fight.
Yep.
And like you could get vast amounts of money.
Mm.
And because they're fairly stable, this is like a long-term income strategy. And you know when you start the game, you know exactly where the Xenon are going to be, you know where exactly where these conflicts are going to be. And so this is like a reliable strategy. To me, that's like good for one playthrough. And then you know, if they put out an expansion, unless they are fundamentally changing the layout of the universe, the actual like prime strategy or whatever else doesn't really change much. They've added a new storyline, cool. But like if the goal is, you know, universal dominance, you're still kind of doing the same strategy of getting your econ up, building a bunch of ships, and conquering zone by zone, and you know exactly where the conflicts are going to be. So, I think that's a game. I think they should have randomized areas. I think they should have randomized politics. I think they should have multiplayer.
I always thought from the moment I loaded it up, I thought the map was random.
Yeah.
I thought it was. And
because that's what you're in your brain.
Yeah, it just seems
makes
like
the most sense.
It would be, you know. And then it's like, oh, this time it's like this faction versus that faction.
Yeah.
But another time it might be a different way around.
And it's much more interesting, I think, if it's random. And look, there are reasons I think it would be difficult to make it random because of the way the universes are connected.
Yeah.
Like the areas are connected.
Yeah.
And the way like
there's a lore and history as well that
Yes.
is like really
quite depth.
Yeah.
Quite deep. But I don't know. Once I got to the point where I understood the underlying systems and how the AI was working, and it was like, oh, okay, I think I'm done.
I think that even if you could have like the campaign and that's set.
Yeah.
You know, with all the lore, you know, appropriate.
Right, and then a randomized mode.
Yeah, and then you have a randomized mode.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
I want to talk. This is what you mentioned earlier. Well, I guess more like what I mentioned earlier about Stellaris. I don't know if I've talked about this in the past, but games that do too much in an update.
Yeah.
I think there's a balance to be struck. So, as a frame of reference, I have played a lot of Backpack Brawl in the last year. It's a great game. I play it regularly enough that when they do an update, I kind of know what they're changing. But if I waited 6 months, I think their updates are too broad in scope that I could come back and I could be like, this is fundamentally a different game.
Yeah. I get you.
And I stopped playing League of Legends in 2014 and I started again this year.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's totally different.
Very different. However, that is a 10-year gap. And while there are a lot of different systems, there are enough similarities that I can still play it. So, for example, the map layout very, very similar to the way it used to be. There's tweaks here and there. There's changes in the way the brush works, whatever. They've also like changed. Every hero has gone through updates. One of my favorite heroes is a character called Sona, and she just like has 3 very simple skills, and those skills are all kind of different to the way they used to be, but they all work the same. The stats they give are different. The behaviors are the same. And so I was able to basically play that character and be fine because it was not fundamentally different. That's not true for all characters. There's a character called Shen, which is fundamentally different.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few other characters that were fundamentally different to the way they used to be. But for 10 years, that's a 10-year gap. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect changes.
Yes.
In 10 years.
But I think that's, I guess, kind of my point is when you're a developer and you're making these updates to a game, you have to kind of be cognizant that like you're designing both for your current player base, but also for new players and for returning players. And like, what does your game look like for the current player base in these changes? It might be fine. For new players, it doesn't really matter because they're playing whatever the current state of the game is.
Yeah.
But for returning players, if the game is too drastically different, they may never actually return. And I think it's a tricky balance to solve.
Must be far less returning players than like old returning players than new players, though.
I guess it depends on the game and the breadth of the update, though. That's kind of my point. Like, you came back to World of Warcraft when it was classic. Do you think you
Yes.
could? Do you think you could go back to retail?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I just imagine that it's so the thing is, when I was first playing WoW,
Yeah.
when I stopped playing not long after Burning Crusade came out,
Yeah.
and it was because I didn't really like the direction the game was going.
Yeah.
I really am just assuming that it carried on down that
Sure.
direction, and
Yeah.
I doubt it's anything like what Classic was. It
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be.
Right.
And in fact, based off people I talk to that play frequently, where it's just primarily like raid focus,
Yeah.
everything.
Yes. Get to max level, and then that's where the game begins.
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. It's interesting because and this is a problem in almost every live service game. When you're developing for your game, you are developing for an existing audience, and oftentimes what that looks like is you're giving the existing audience, or at least the majority of the existing audience, the thing that they are asking for. So in the case of World of Warcraft, 70% of players, let's say, were engaged in raids, and so you focus on raid content. But now you're neglecting the 30%, and so that 30% becomes more and more minor, and then that 70% starts to splinter. This 70% wants small raids. 30% of the 70% wants small raids, and the 70% of the 70% wants big raids. So you do more big raids, and then that 30% goes away, and so you start to develop for a more and more narrow audience, and your content becomes more and more specialized. It's a really interesting problem because, like, I kind of think there's an inherent risk to develop for a broader audience, because if you're developing for what the 30% wants, you are not going to make as much money in the short term, or you're not going to get as much love from the audience in the short term, or that 70% might feel neglected in the short term.
Yeah, that's the
and there's a
thing.
risk that they leave or whatever. But like if you develop for that, but I guess if you're taking a long-term approach and you also develop for that 70% a little less frequently, maybe broadly the satisfaction levels of all the specialized groups are a little bit lower, but you have more variety, you have a broader audience, and maybe the long-term health of the game is a little better. I don't know. It's a tricky problem.
It's a real balancing thing, especially for something like WoW.
Exactly. But I see it in Path of Exile. I see it in almost every single live service where in Path of Exile, the perfect example is clear speed builds. Like if you look at the original build of Path of Exile, it was not fast. It was very slow. People find the fastest build, and then any content you produce at that point has to be as fast or faster, or it will be deemed unusable. And that is a vicious cycle. And that is true for every game where you are, if you are trying to outdo past content or trying to develop for an audience that is craving a specific kind of content, the content will become more narrow and specialized, or it will begin to erode the old content. And I don't really know what the long-term solution is. I honestly don't.
So with WoW, it was really interesting when they started doing like that season of discovery thing.
Yeah.
Where they did classic, they added new skills, they added some small raids along the way.
Yeah.
I played the first season of that.
Yeah.
Had like legitimately great time. It was.
I had even considered joining you because like it sounded like a really fun time.
It was just like vanilla with like some more recent skills and stuff that completely changed the leveling.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But then by the start of season 2, they'd added like XP boosts and changed the zone to have like some PvP event. And, in fact, I think it was like Stranglethorn Vale, so it was going to be just.
It doesn't need any more PvP.
They already had the arena in there.
But as soon as they did the XP boost thing, I went,
XP boost sucked. Yeah.
It's so that's another one because like okay, let's say you're making World of Warcraft. This game came out in 2004.
Yeah.
Right. This game is 21 years old.
Amazing.
So like, I'm an 18-year-old. This game came out before I was born. I've heard great things about it. I want to play. Am I starting at level 1?
Yeah.
And is that a good experience?
Well, that's the thing, because like I don't know what the new. Sometimes they do think about, I'd play through, and my expectation is to play through storyline wise each expansion.
Yeah,
but that's not what happens. You end up out leveling older expansions super quickly.
Well, yeah. So that's
and you just skip over. So you end up, you just skip over.
What is that experience
chunks.
like? And like, yeah. So I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. These are problems that have to be constantly solved and reviewed.
But with it being based on vanilla WoW, the leveling curve was what the leveling curve was.
In Season of Discovery, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But
it was a bit easier to kill things because you had access to more skills.
Sure. And but also
made it a little bit easier to play, really.
You also had access to the knowledge that you probably didn't have when you first played World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like, look, when I first played World of Warcraft, our tank was DPS. I was a mage pulling things, trying to kill things before it reaches. Like I was like
we did that as well.
Nothing made sense. We didn't know what we were doing.
I'm mage. Well, I was a mage. I was always pulling stuff and then
of course
hoping I don't die.
We died. We'd wipe in Ragefire Chasm over and over and over again because we didn't know what the class dynamics were supposed to be. It was like we would be like, why didn't the priest heal me? I'm the mage. I should be. I had the aggro. Why didn't you heal me? So like, there's the knowledge aspect of it makes it easier. Definitely statistical aspects and new skills and stuff make it easier. But I also think like Classic is not the case here. Classic was designed to be a slow leveling process based on the original.
Yeah,
it's hidden in nostalgia value. But if you're currently running a modern product, you've put an expansion out in 2024 or whatever for this game that's 20 years old. What does the new player experience look like? Is it feasible? How do you funnel players?
I don't know.
To the best content in a way that isn't jarring.
I don't know where. Dude, this is just me guessing again.
Yeah,
I don't know where we're at with retail WoW. I literally just don't know. And I've seen things where you can like choose to run certain expansions or something, but
I know others.
I don't know.
This is why I actually think this is maybe Path of Exile's one of Path of Exile's greatest competitive advantages is essentially embracing the leveling loop for every season. Like every season, everyone starts at 0.
Yep.
You're leveling up a bit faster or whatever because you've got more events, you've got better skills, whatever. More gear drops. The gear is better than it used to be, whatever else. But it is standard across the board, and everyone has the same journey from 0 to maps. And from a narrative perspective, we always ensured that we did not acknowledge really past events from the start of the game. Yeah, because you are starting on the starting beach.
Yeah.
You have been exiled.
Yep.
It would make no sense to be like the Shaper died when when you're on the starting beach because who the hell is the Shaper?
That's what that's what I thought with when Cataclysm came out. In World of Warcraft, because it completely reshaped the whole world, and all that stuff is still there. So, as a player, you're like, this must have just happened because they've not upgraded it to look like it happened 15 years ago.
Yeah,
it happened now.
Yeah, well, that was the idea behind Cataclysm, is that the world of Warcraft is changing,
but it never really changed after that. Yeah. I mean, it did. I guess it did in some ways, but it was always the late. I don't know. It always just seemed like endgame stuff was always where stuff at. But you're right that it's the newer player is I don't know what's going on. Do I go? You can still go to those Mists of Pandaria area, and there's NPCs there.
Yeah,
that were important for that story, but they were also in. You just saw them in Outland. Yeah. It's so mixed up because it's all happening. It's basically all happening at the same time.
Yeah. It's like flattening the time.
Yeah, it's all time is happening at once.
Yeah, so it makes me think okay, here's something that stuck out when I first played World of Warcraft. I played an undead character, and they kept talking about how you were saved from the Scourge.
Yeah,
you were risen by by Arthas, whoever was. This is a thing, and you've escaped the grasp of the Lich King.
Yep.
But Cataclysm came out after Wrath of the Lich King. So, like, what does the new player experience
I know, right?
look like in context?
I mean,
of...
is the Lich King even like if you go to Northrend now, is the Lich King still around, or do you have to play through? Yeah, I don't know because it's all just happening at once.
Yeah,
like, I don't.
So I mean, we're using World of Warcraft as the example here, but this is a problem for every single live service.
Well, it's weird in the case of World of Warcraft though, because it's so story driven that each expansion is like a chunk of story.
Yeah.
Where, at least with like Path of Exile, it's really more about league mechanics and adding new game mechanics.
No, it's about story. It's about story. No, that's not totally fair.
I mean,
we do story.
There is
updates.
a story.
Yes.
I just haven't.
Yeah.
But we read it.
Yeah.
No, we do story updates, but it's like it's not like every league is adding to this like
exactly.
thing.
Yeah, well, it was, I worked on that stuff, and we would have to make a conscious decision. Does this build upon something? Is this something new? Is this running in parallel? Oftentimes we would do different solutions for different expansions. So, and one of the trickiest things for a game like Path of Exile, where there's no end to the grind, a player can just keep running maps. How do you do a league with a satisfying story? But you want to let the player continue to use the mechanics, and so sometimes there was a boss, and then we have to come up with some reason that the boss can come back, or it's not really the boss, or whatever else. And sometimes there's like, that is the end, and we just acknowledge that it just keeps coming back. And
but we also have the thing of like some leagues just don't go to core.
Yep.
So we're just like,
so you have to be careful. You can't integrate it too closely.
And some go to core and then later get like pulled out in some way.
Yes.
Gutted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. But I think that establishing that the story, the fundamental timeline of the story, starting on the beach to killing Kitava, doesn't fundamentally change or whatever. Like that you are not acknowledging the past league's events until after that happens, and then you can have like a time skip. You can have some catch up. We did the Shaper, and then we did the Elder, and we kind of had a time skippy kind of thing there that kind of acknowledged both. And then after that we had the Conquerors of the Atlas, which recontextualized those events as happening to other exiles, which had a time skip.
I think that's a good way of doing it. Like World of Warcraft kind of does that as well. They say like, oh, heroes defeated this, or heroes defeated that.
Yes.
But then they do also, I remember in past expansions, they ran into the thing where then you become the leader of the paladins or whatever. But then it's like, okay, so every paladin is the leader of the paladins. It's just like,
now we're getting into more challenges of a live service game, which is in a game where you're meant to feel special, but there's 10,000.
Yeah, I know how to do that. How do you do that? My mate always used to be like, I'm the leader. I'm the leader.
Yeah.
Ignore those other paladins with the same like flaming sword as me.
Yes. Well, I got nothing else.
Yeah. There's also another thing.
Actually, no, I do have something else.
Oh,
Go
yeah?
ahead.
But I was just going to say another thing that you reminded me of that is an annoying thing, I think specifically in MMOs that have been going on too long, is that when you first log in, you're a completely brand new player.
Yep.
You've been like, okay, this is a cool game.
Yep.
I've heard this is a cool game. I'm going to log in.
Yeah.
And it's just pop up after pop up of like some event thing. Here's a random reward for that. Here's 5 rewards for 10-year anniversary.
The plague of the red dot, I tell you.
It's just bombards you with like all this stuff, all these loot boxes to open, and you're like, what? I don't know what any of this is.
Your mailbox is 4 pages of events.
Yeah. All these past expansions for some reason are like piled up, even though you've played it for the first time ever.
Yes. And that is so common. So when I was reviewing MMOs at IGN, like EverQuest 2, I would have 4 pages of mail from all the expansions.
Ridiculous.
I'd have, in any game where there's an expansion, especially if you're given a press account to get you up to the level of the start of the new content so you can review it, it's like, oh, here's 40 hours worth of stuff you need to catch up on just to get yourself ready to actually do your first mob or whatever. It's like, okay.
Yep.
All right. So actually, there is a piece of news that came out this week. I'm so flippin' excited! Holy moly!
Is it a Nintendo announcement?
Hollow Knight Silk Song coming out September 4th.
Oh,
2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Legitimately. Finally,
this is a quick.
This is
Wasn't there a teaser?
This is not a Silk post. This is this is legit.
So the last I heard, there was a teaser that came out real recently with no date, and then a date has come out since.
Yeah. It came out the morning of my birthday.
Happy birthday,
me! September 4th. In fact, I had a day or two before, people were like, "Oh, September 10th." So I was like stoked because like September 10th is so soon, and then like literally there's like actually September 4th.
That's cool.
So I am so excited. I don't know if you've been following this game. I've been following it only in as much as I want to know when it's coming out, and I've seen the trailers, but I haven't been following like press coverage because I want that game to be just a game I experience.
Yep, that's nice. That's
specifically, cool. I'm going to experience it through my wife playing it and then telling me to do the things she can't.
You're doing all the bosses,
all the hard parts. Yes, all the bosses. Well, all the bosses she can't do and all the hard platforming she can't do.
Yeah.
But that's fine because that game is going to be amazing. I've been playing the original again.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
That's cool.
That's it.
That's neat. So an announcement like that, what do you think is better? Where if you had known for the whole year that it was coming out at this date, or what they basically did where they had no date until it's coming out in 2 weeks?
That's a tough one because you're basically asking Elder Scrolls 6 or Elder Scrolls 5 Remake.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
That has the thing of like you are like struggling to find out if it's real.
Remake, I should say. Yeah.
Is this a real announcement? When I saw that Elder Scrolls thing, I was like, wait, is this real or is this just some like bullshit that someone's thrown together? And
then like the next day they're like, we've launched it.
Yeah, and you're
like what? Where am I?
Yeah.
It's a tough one because like there's something nice about having some time to get excited and like be like, oh, I'm looking forward to this.
But you also don't run the risk of like, I've been pushed back. I've been pushed back again.
Yes.
And you would have done that internally.
Excitement.
Yeah, I mean, there's the flip side of that is like Starfield, right? Like they had been talking about Starfield for years. It was the first original IP and blah 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 blah. And then announced dates were coming up. People were really hyped for it, and then it comes out, and the game's pretty meh. So hype can really go either way.
I mean, back to No Man's Sky, classic case of overhyped.
Yes.
Massively overhyped.
But that also wasn't like 6 years build up or whatever, right?
It was probably like 4 years.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah, it was quite a while. It was quite a while.
Well, at least they've kind of kept.
It was their own. It was Sean Murray's own fault for not really explaining what was in that game and just
because there wasn't much.
Because there wasn't much.
It's not so much a game as like a virtual zoo.
It's good.
All right.
It's great.
We're well out of time. Thanks for listening. Of course, every 2 weeks you can hear us and you can email us frostyquestions@gmail.com, or you can post your comments on YouTube.
You could. Sorry to interrupt you, but for my own like promotion, promoting something. You could listen to me and Fabian have a interview with Darth Microtransactions on his channel if you want.
I definitely know who Darth Microtransactions is.
He's a...
Star Wars is really going downhill, huh?
No, that's just the Disneyfication.
Darth Microtransactions does feel like the next step, doesn't it? Where can people hear / see this?
His channel, just search on YouTube Darth Microtransactions. He's a big PoE and former Diablo streamer.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, he came to the office for a couple of days.
Yeah,
and interviewed a bunch of us. So you can, if you don't want to listen to me, you should listen to some of the other guys as well.
Everyone should listen to Blake.
Well,
about everything.
I keep
New
shouting
dictator.
I keep shouting that at work, but it never seems to work.
Yeah, you've been escorted out of the building.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back as always in 2 weeks, and as always with Paul and Blake and me. Thanks for listening. We love you. come on, Blake, you're only responsible for everything. What's the deal? I see a bunch of RimWorld Odyssey stuff. I've played it a fair bit. I haven't got any of the expansions, but it is brutally hard and often heartbreaking. Like, you'll have someone is like, there's a cool item that's a couple days travel away. So you send out a small group of people, and then while they're away, you get invaded or someone gets attacked by a guinea pig and their scratch gets infected, and your best medic is on the trip because you thought you might need their best medic on the trip. And so the infection gets worse and worse and worse, and then they die. It's like, well, okay. Oh, it's really good. It's brutal. It's interesting. I've been thinking about this because it is not a pretty game. It's pretty ugly, in fact, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's very.
It looks like Flash animation from like the mid 2000s. It's definitely flat, kind of Rayman, like the original, like the floating. There's no arms. It's just sort of hands, floating hands. In fact, they don't even have hands. Now that I think about it, the objects.
Oh, they don't have hands.
I don't think so. I think they just kind of float.
They just float.
But so you see torsos and heads, and I was thinking about this as like, it's pretty silly. Like, you don't see any of this stuff, and this is true for even the animals. They don't have their limbs, so you'll see a bear, which is just like a big torso and a head, and I was just thinking like, what? It's an interesting choice, and I realized one of the features of this game is like limb loss, like
Yeah.
but also limb replacement, and you can replace it with lots of different stuff. And so exactly, I genuinely think it was a scope minimization tactic.
Well, I can understand like the no limbs thing. I did a game jam once.
Yeah.
And I was making the main character, and it was like this little mouse guy. And I just did that exact thing. It was a torso with a head
Yeah.
detached. And it had balls for arms and legs, and it made everything so much easier.
Yes, sure.
So I can imagine that. But
Yes.
then when your game is like, limbs and stuff like that. But then also if it gets into like the art style is making it difficult to read what the fuck I'm looking at. Like if this bear is like, it just looks like a weird blob. You're like, what even is that? Like,
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but I mean, it's not too hard to read. But it is hard if a character, for example, loses a limb.
yeah, you wouldn't.
You literally can't tell from the art.
Yeah.
You have to go into a character page. But I kind of get that when there's as much flexibility and depth,
for sure.
you kind of. I think they made a decision, whether it's the right decision or not. I think it was at least backed up by a logic that I can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. They forgot him when the game launched 10 years ago, and then they kept doing expansions, and every time it was like, oh shit, we do the limbs in this one? No.